Newton has his first road challenge as the Patriots travel to Seattle to take on Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. According to Fox Bet, the Patriots are a 4-point underdog. So, Shannon, what shot do you give Cam to pull off the upset?
I give it very little. Skip, remember, it was very tough for me to choose between the Saints and Seattle representing the NFC in the Super Bowl, because that's how much respect I have for this team. That's how much respect I have for Russell Wilson. He's spectacular. I mean, I don't really know what to say, and I think we're going to talk about it a little later. Coach Belichick says Russ is underrated, and I don't think he gets the credit. I think a lot of that has to do with where he plays, but that's neither here nor there right now. Skip, when you look at Seattle, they can run the football, they can throw it. Metcalf, Lockett, Olsen, tight end they got from Carolina, still have some tread on the tires. The key for Seattle will be protection. Skip, I didn't know this until I started, Steve and I started looking into it. Russell got sacked 3 times, but he took 9 hits. Only Carson Wentz took more hits, 14, than Russell took opening week.
Well, didn't Cam take a few?
Not like, I'm talking about hits. With Cam running the ball.
Yeah.
I'm talking about from the pocket throwing the ball.
Okay.
So that's concerning. The question is, can the Patriots generate pass rush and can get the rush? Because if they don't, it's going to be a long evening. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, I saw some highlights where they had a DB imitating Russ. Skip. He running around there. He start toward the line of scrimmage and he backpedal and he'll do a pirouette and he throw the ball down the field. Because Russ is capable of doing things just like that, what Coach Belichick had those guys practicing against. Jamal Adams he's been great. They play him in the box. Yeah, they play a certain type of way, but they've taken advantage. You saw I think he had 12 tackles on Sunday. Big hits. He's blowing things up. He's a difference maker. And so I think Seattle wins by at least 10. Seattle's special. Seattle's going to be really, really good. If Seattle's on your schedule, you better play your best ball game, because if you don't, they're coming in. There used to be, Skip, teams from the West, the far, they come back east, that 3 hour, you play in the 1 o'clock window. Oh, you chalk that up as a win. Not anymore with Seattle. Doesn't matter. If they're on your schedule, you better be on your best behavior, or they're coming to your building and they're getting a win.
So, as I always tell you, I like to guess the point spreads before I reveal the point spreads. I really swung and missed on this point spread. I'm in your camp. I think Seattle should win by at least 10 points. I thought it would be a 7-point spread.
I did too.
It's only 4. So the odds makers are giving Cam and Belichick way more respect than you're giving them right now.
I think a lot of that has to do with, Skip, no fans. So you don't really get the full effect of the 12th man.
There's no 12th man. In fact, it's so bad, the game has been in some danger of not being played because of the air quality with the fires.
Because the Mariners moved their game.
They moved their game
to San Diego.
And I think, because the forecast is a little better tomorrow, I think they think they're going to get to play this game. But it's going to be quiet in there,
it is.
Right? Yeah. Nobody's going to be in there except the football players and a few personnel.
And Skip, that might be, not to cut you off, Skip, but that might be why we don't see the big point spreads that we're used to seeing, or that we would see, is because they're not fans. They're factoring that in. There's really no home field now.
Cam is still fresh enough, having not played much football for a year and being out pretty much the whole offseason, obviously, before he got signed, about a month before the season started, that as though he took some punishment, he took some shots last week. He carried it 15 times for 75 yards. I think they will try to do that again. They're going to feed their beast, who is Cam. He's going to be their Marshawn Lynch in this game. And I wouldn't be surprised if he carried it 18 times. I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps the passing even lower than it was. He was 15 of 19 for 155.
But that's the wing tee.
Okay, but they're going to try to dominate the ball. They got Sony Michel, Rex Burkhead. They will just pound away and try to keep the ball out of Russell's hands.
Correct.
That's the only way they're going to steal this game. But I do give them some shot, because it's going to come down to Cam, who I think he is highly capable of dominating a game. It's going to become Cam, versus Jamal Adams. Like, that's what, there are going to be some real confrontations where he's going to be playing way up in the box.
Well, Skip, they got the best middle linebacker in football,
Well, he's
Bobby
good.
Wagner.
No, he is really good.
So, yeah, and they got KJ Wright.
Yeah.
So they pride themselves on being able to get the football. Bobby Wagner attacks the football. He's great in pass coverage. He can play downhill. I mean, I don't know if they Cam can. Skip, I don't know. 30 carries in his first 2 weeks of the season. How did he hold up with that?
Would you believe Cam threw only 4 balls last week that traveled more than 10 yards? Only 4 times did he throw passes that traveled more than 10.
Well, I think
Think about that.
Yeah, but Skip, you're making a conscious effort to get the ball out of his hands, and I'm not so sure they got guys that can get down the field much faster than that before. And how good is the offensive line? Remember, the thing is that Cam can do that Brady couldn't is that he can avoid some pressure, but that offensive line didn't get substantially better once Brady left. They just got a guy that's more athletic and more mobile that can possibly get out of harm's way. But I still think that line is average to below average.
So the irony of what you're telling me is Russ is special. Russ is like 1A to Mahomes, right?
There you go.
Well, like 1A, but I'm saying you still love Mahomes.
No, I want my homeboy, but I take Russell second.
Okay, well, I'm saying he's like almost 1A.
Yeah, he up there, yeah.
You're hyping him up, and he deserves it.
Yes.
Yet you've told me for how many years, since 2014, you say that Pete Carroll still made the all-time Super Bowl blunder on that final play.
But hold on.
Don't you want the ball in the special guy's hands?
Hold on, Skip.
Right?
Russell is a different quarterback in 2019, 2020 than he was in 2014.
He was pretty good.
Skip, that was still a Marshawn Lynch, Legion of Boom team. You know that, I know that.
But in that Super Bowl, he was cooking, man. Let Russ cook. He was cooking all over
What was Beast Mode doing? Beast Mode ran for $1. Didn't he go for $1.20?
Yeah, so just to remind everybody, it was 2nd and goal from the 1.
Yes.
With 26 seconds left. And Pete Carroll and Darrell Bevell, the coordinator and play caller, opted to put the ball in Russ's hands to throw it to Ricardo Lockett at the goal line, a play that they love because he's like 6'2", 220-ish maybe. Throw it to him, and everybody said, what a mistake, because it should have been beast mode. And I said, well, time out. Beast mode was handed the ball during that regular season of 2014.